Late breaking. This is Channel 13. Live at 11.
Tonight's top story, a home invasion in Bill. The robbery of an elderly woman leads to neighborhood concern. Good evening and thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm Jim Kambrich.
And I'm Lydia Kulbida. The home invasion and robbery happened in the middle of the afternoon in a quiet residential neighborhood.
The elderly victim wasn't seriously hurt, but tonight she and her neighbors are shaken. John Allen joins us live from Glenville with more. Good evening, John.
Good evening, Jim. Police say they don't know if this woman was a deliberate target or if this was just a match. But what they do say is it proves a point. No neighborhood is entirely safe.
This is tight city around here, and you can be as tight as you can be, not safe.
And it appears that is the reason in this normally quiet residential neighborhood. It was about 2 o'clock Tuesday afternoon when Glenville police got the call. An elderly woman said she had just been robbed inside her 12 Slater Drive home. When police arrived, the woman said she had seen the man in her backyard, and she actually went to greet him, entered her home through an unlocked screen porch door. Police say the man then put a jet found near the door over the head. According to the woman, to her face. Police say she refused medical treatment.
He told her that to have a seat in a chair, at which time he went through her purse, which is on the kitchen table, took a small amount of cash.
Then the intruder left in what neighbors say was either a silver or tan sedan. At least one neighbor had apparently noticed the car and the suspicious man inside before the home at number 12.
Witnesses state that the male, who's described as a black male, approximately 5'10", or 6 feet tall, weighing anywhere from 80 to 200 pounds, wearing a dark-colored jacket and a dark knit cap, exited the vehicle, walked behind the houses.
Police say there is some indication the woman may have been followed home after doing some shopping and banking on nearby Route 50. Some neighbors say they still feel safe in spite of this recent event.
No, I got a dog. I feel safe, even with I do have a dog, and if somebody came in the yard, she would bark. So as long as I was home. If I'm not home, obviously my house is locked.
Others say it's at the very least a wake-up call.
I just went around my house and locked all my windows, because I like to throw windows open and, now they're locked.
Police are continuing their investigation. Detective Janik says he doesn't want to alarm anyone, but at the same time, calm should prevail. Keep your doors locked, whether home or away, and if you are home alone and someone comes to the door that you do not recognize, do not let that person in. If you feel threatened, dial 911. Jim?
All common sense advice. Thank you, John. John Allen, live tonight. Lydia?
People in Troy who normally help those in need locally are now helping hurricane victims in Louisiana. Kumi will bring us the details in just a moment.
But first, Chief Meteorologist Bob Kovachick joins us from the Weather Center with your first morning forecast. Bob?
All right, Jim, Lydia, thanks. Good evening, everyone. We have a cool, breezy night in progress. Temperatures dropping back to the 50s. The radar pretty much cleared out now of any shower activity. 53 degrees on the hour. It'll stay this way through the nighttime. And first tomorrow morning, heading out to work to school, upper 40s. Rise. Wilma continues to strengthen. Now a Category 2 hurricane force to become a major hurricane in the next few hours. We'll talk more about that and the local weather coming up. Lydia.
Thanks, Bob. An 88-year-old man is the victim of a freak accident in Schenectady. Police say Wilton Rainey from Boston Lake was leaving Ellis Hospital around noon today. A security guard was helping him find his car in the garage when an SUV came around the corner. The driver, 42-year-old Joette Thomas, told police she saw the guard, but she didn't see Rainey and ran him over. Rainey is now listed in critical condition. Also new since our 6 o'clock report, Albany police released a surveillance picture of the man who tried to rob the statue on Clinton Avenue around 4 this afternoon. They say he's the same who robbed the Key Bank on North Pearl Street last weekend. If you recognize him, you're asked to call Albany Police.
Police say a Troy man pulled a gun on 2 officers in the back of a suspected drug house. After neighbors' complaint, a task force moved in on 3319 6th Avenue in north central Troy Monday evening. Police say one of the people hanging out in the front ran between the homes to a backyard. There, officials say that he pulled one of 2 loaded guns on officers. Officials say that those 2 officers showed restraint when they chose not to fire in that tense situation.
Done without incident once the suspect threw both guns away from his proximity. And it's a credit to those officers that we have an uninjured suspect We have 2 officers recovered 2 loaded handguns, and they, in fact, went home at the end of the night to their families.
Police say although they chose not to, the officers would have been justified in firing under those circumstances. 9 people were arrested in the task force operation.
Residents in Troy Public Housing are reaching out to families and seniors in Slidell, Louisiana. They plan to bring Christmas to those who lost almost everything in Hurricane Katrina. Kumi Tucker reports.
Rupert Hill stocks the shelves at the food pantry on Grand Street.
I'm happy to do what I can because I was out of food before and they helped me out a lot, so I try and pay back my time, give them a helping hand.
The resident organization of the Troy Housing Authority, or REACT, provides food to those in need. Now the group has adopted residents of the Housing Authority in Slidell, Louisiana, who were severely affected by Hurricane Katrina. Organizers are collecting presents for seniors and toys for children so they can send Christmas to those struggling in a devastated area.
If you see a child at Christmas receiving a toy, it's the greatest joy you could ever see. They're just lit up. This is a Barney doll, and it talks, it does just about everything.
REACT will be sending some stocking stuffers and extra Barney dolls that the group gave to families of troops serving.
That's what we did. We also gave them to Troy Housing children. We're going to work on Slidell, Louisiana.
I think it's a very good idea. At least you're going to make some people happy, and with something you always remember the rest of your life.
A lot of people have sent things down there, and there's been a lot of great help down there. But this is going to be basically, it's Merry Christmas to you, from Troy, New York. With New York.
Collecting donations is only half the battle. Then delivery. REACT is sponsoring a bowl-a-thon here at the Uncle Sam Lamb, Saturday, October 29th at 3 o'clock to help pay for the cost of delivery. In Troy, Kumi Tucker, News Channel 13.
A state of emergency remains in effect tonight in Taunton, Massachusetts, where a dam on the Mill River is still showing signs of deterioration. The Whitenden Dam started showing signs of stress last night, and if there is a breach, a 6-foot wall of water could surge through the downtown area. The mayor says so far the dam is still holding. In light of this, Massachusetts Governor Mitt Romney has ordered an emergency inspection of almost 200 wooden dams across the state. These are considered high-hazard dams because they could lead to loss of life if they are breached. The Department of Conservation in Massachusetts has yet to get back to us on just how many of those high-hazard dams are in Berkshire County. But in Hinsdale, people are still worried about the Plunkett Dam. Some people were told it broke during heavy rain. It did not, but the area still received substantial flooding. Pittsfield also saw flooding last week, and today city officials did their part to help some of those affected. This in dumpsters for people who had to throw away ruined possessions. City officials also met with homeowners to talk about a home improvement program. If they are income eligible, they qualify for a $5,000 grant and a 3% fixed rate loan.
A Washington County man in trouble with the law before is now accused of neglecting a purebred horse that traces its bloodlines to Triple Crown champion Seattle Slew. Greenwich veterinarian Ronald Peters could be charged with animal cruelty as soon as tomorrow. A horse rescue group bought the horse named Windswept Lady. The leader of the group says the horse was 300 pounds and had severely infected feet when they bought it from Dr. Peters.
I think that a Triple Crown winner's granddaughter was starving to death in a paddock 20 minutes outside Saratoga doesn't speak very well.
I think they're looking for publicity rather than solve problems. She wasn't neglected, she was thin, and I say she was thin enough, so I was going to have her euthanized.
Peters was convicted back in 1999 of dumping dog carcasses in a roadside ditch. Police have asked a judge to file a formal charge against the longtime vet.
What started as a custody dispute ended with the arrest of 2 people charged with arson and burglary. It stemmed from a fire in Buskirk last month. Police say that Roxanne Livingston of Eagle Bridge and Paige Santillan of Bennington, Vermont, broke into the home of Eric Cole on September 25th. The 2 are accused of stealing things from the home and then setting it on fire. Cole is Livingston's ex-husband. He was out of the state at the time. You can read more of the story in tomorrow's Post-Star newspaper.
A construction company is to blame for an explosion that leveled a Schenectady home earlier this month. That tops our follow-up report. State investigators say a crew from Hudson River Construction in Albany dug too close to a natural gas line on Strong Street. Backhoe hit the line and caused it to rupture in the home's basement. The company will likely be fined. The homeowner, Morris Melitzer, wasn't home.